I actually, I did want to, you never really talk about serialism and atonal and 20th century composition. I mean, I get you hinted about it, jokingly about it in previous interviews, but in the 60s, I mean, really the early 20th century, that there was a really strong urge for people who are composition majors or just composers to be pushed in a very modernist direction and serialism, Boulez, and even before that Schoenberg. There's a lot of
I
and
was
these
there.
are not these and these were not untalented people. These were geniuses. Many of these were very
Oh,
talented. Boulez,
absolutely.
I mean, Boulez is as a talent is huge. Um, but like I just want your comment on that whole period and just like what you make of that. I mean, it was a kind of a crazy time. I mean, really path breaking, insane, some beautiful things, but it happened. And what do we make of that? I mean, we can't pretend it never happened.
No, it never happened. Yeah, I mean, it did happen, and yet culturally, it sort of didn't happen. I mean, mid-century modern furniture is all the rage now. I mean, it's very valuable. Mid-century modern music, nobody even knows that they don't like it. It's you're absolutely right. It was this brilliant group of lemmings running off a cliff, and yeah, I was there. Uh, these were the best and brightest. These people could. Uh, oh, I mean, they were performers like the Kontarsky brothers. You could throw a bucket of paint on the wall and they could play it. You know, they they, they were truly amazing, and they wanted to branch out into a brave new world. You know, this idea of pattern based music, and I mean, they Schoenberg and his generation, they'd gotten sick of it. You know, Schoenberg arranged like 1,000 pages of small orchestral music for clubs and theaters in Vienna. They knew this stuff like the back of their hand, but they really got tired of it, and they thought there was this brave new world that they would reach out and you know, maybe it sounds awful right now, but the world is going to catch up to us.
But
That was the thing.
to play devil's advocate, I mean, it has expanded the soundscape, right? So, like for instance, if we hear horror music or certain expressionist film, it does take that, and you would almost feel like it's appropriate for certain imagery and this we're talking about aesthetics now. It's not like I mean maybe nobody's whistling it down the street, but certainly but certainly it has affected art, right? In sort of the like it has an influence for sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But of course, that was achieved by 1910. That's a time before your great grandfather. So it's it's taken us a long time to be able to view it historically, I think.
I have one thing which is I really don't know much about modern classical music. Who are the lists, the Mozarts, the Chopins of today? I'm sure they're there, and I'm sure they're constrained by the certain economies of this and like for instance, I know Chopin when Chopin came on the scene, he was a breath of fresh air. He was just so new and he was just fresh. Um, and I'm all for learning all the techniques that we have. Like I think part of it is absolutely perfect, absolutely perfect. But there's always that urge, right, to be original and to push things and to have the what is modern classical music? What should the sound be now in 2024? I mean, do we play with odd time signatures? Do we explore like Messiaen and play with that? Maybe mix that with a bit of like 18th century music and a bit of neoclassicism. Like, what does that look like? I have no idea what modern classical music is or should sound like.
Yeah, no, I'm no seer. I'm no prognosticator. Um, there's a lot of interesting music in films now, And I think for most people, that is their experience of symphonic music. Very unlikely that they would, attend a symphony concert in the first place, and then to actually attend and hear a piece of new music, very remote.
Yeah.
I mean, I think as we look back on the 20th century, for example, um, I would tend to rate somebody like George Gershwin as extraordinarily high. There's certainly people like Stravinsky, Ravel, Rachmaninoff, but from their point of view, out of nowhere comes somebody like George Gershwin, and rechanges how people hear things.
Mm-hmm.
So the Beatles may have had that effect. Maybe today it's Taylor Swift. I don't know.